Well, hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yay, we're here together. It's such a wonderful opportunity to be together on a night that for such a long time has had such build up to it. You're all still here, and isn't that great? We're thrilled because we like being with you. We like sharing this time with you. We like offering our insights to you and having this opportunity to be together in such a nice big group, and you've had food, and apparently there was coffee. So either you're half hyper and half crashing. We don't know what happens when you drink coffee this late at night, but we're happy that you had what you needed to in order to feel the community that we feel when we gather with you. And we really do feel a sense of community from you. A sense of if we stick together, we're unstoppable. And the unstoppability doesn't mean anything beyond unstoppable in the transformation of the inner world that each experience. Be on the transformational journey. To take fears and habits, the survival instinct telling you how to live, patterns that you were taught from your childhood or your culture growing up, and evaluate them with consciousness. That's what we're about. In a nutshell, that's what we do. We help evaluate with consciousness the patterns that you have been living that are apparently not getting the job done, or you wouldn't be here. If the patterns that you're currently living with were working just fine, you wouldn't be together tonight. And because they're not, we do our best to offer you opportunities to see all those patterns in a new way. And thus far, we've had a great track record and had a good time getting there. So we're very pleased to once again have the opportunity to be with you, and also to have the opportunity to start this meeting off for the council and to lay the energetic foundation. That's the job that we have. We're called the Guardians. For those of you who are new, we're called the Guardians. We start the meetings off, and our role on the council is to lay energetic foundation. And that's what we do, is we lay an energetic foundation. We also help you remove the energies that you're not interested in carrying forward. And because you're at the end of your calendar year, whether you go by the regular calendar or you go by the solstice calendar, you're at the end. Here you are. And you're at the end of this year that's had so much build up to it. It's a great time to get rid of stuff. This is now a powerful moment for releasing. So the opportunity is now, right now, wherever you are, whether you're online or listening here in the room. You don't have to know what it is. You can just say, that which does not serve me, I choose to leave behind. And don't let your mind go looking for what it is, because that just keeps it with you. There's a releasing that's available to you right now. A releasing. Like when you get up out of the water, the drops fall off you. They evaporate away. You don't chase each drop. You don't say, oh, but don't get on that part of the sand. No. You want to shake it off, let it drop away. Dogs are very good at this. They get it. They don't have to be explained, right? They know just how to do it. You don't chase down those drops. You don't have to chase down what you decide to let go of now. There are many, many things in each of you that are just ready to fall, like the leaves. The turning of the seasons is marked by the leaves falling off the trees. The tree does not weep, because the tree wants the new leaf, the new branch, the new growth. And we want the same thing for you. And the leaves fall and they crunch underfoot and they create beauty as they are composted away. And your energetics do the same thing, do a similar thing. They are composted away. You don't need to know where each leaf went or each drop fell to. You just need to be willing to say, you know, I know there's things that aren't serving me. They don't support me. They don't help me. Why do I keep them around? Part of the fallacy here is that I have to know what it is in order to release it, because I have to make sure I don't need it. And anytime you throw in the because I have to make sure I don't need it, That's lack usually. And you're holding on to something. If it's not serving me, it goes. That's what we like. If it's not serving me, it goes. And we mean by serving me in the growth forward, the movement forward in my life. If this is not serving me in my movement forward, it goes, and I will not try to watch it leave. I will own that it has dropped away. Just own that it's dropped away. And just like the leaves and the drops of water are reused in another way, that energy will be used in constructive forces. You don't have to wonder where it goes, and you're not energetically littering the earth. Don't go into that one. We've had that one before. Don't go there. All those are just reasons to hang on to something that doesn't serve you and stay in patterns that have not helped you. So don't do that, as we like to say. Allow yourself permission here on the dawning of a new year to say, that which doesn't serve me, it's time for you to go, and I will not track you. I will let you drop. I don't need to know where you've gone. I don't even have to identify you, label you, put you in my chronology. I simply need to say, goodbye. Yes, yes, yes. Very good. We do feel that happening. And we will support you throughout the rest of this meeting and anytime you call on us in furthering that release. Now, one little caveat that comes up is you might fall for the idea that if you let go of something and then you turn out to need it in 6 months, oh no, I let go of it. We trust that in 6 months, if you need something that you have let go of, you will find it again. And we also know with a great deal of certainty that what you need in 6 months isn't what you let go of anyway. It may be something that seems a little familiar, but you are going to be such a different being in 6 months that you don't need that thing that you used before. All right? So next we get the Visionaries. And they're gonna, yeah, here they come. Good night. Well, they don't call us visionaries because it doesn't fit. They call us visionaries because that's our job, to hold the vision. And the vision of 2012, guess what? The clock is ticking on that, isn't it? Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. The vision of 2012. What's it going to be? How's it going to go? What? It's going to be this. It's going to be that. No, it's going to be this. No, it's going to be that. It's going to be this horrific thing. It will be terrible. And you know what it turns out to be? Just another Friday. Welcome to it. Now, some of you had big energy and you dreamed a lot and you slept real hard, or you had this thing happen, and some of you are having really powerful experiences, which we do not mean to diminish. But the reality is, for the majority of people, it's Friday. Yay! That's the experience. Now, some of you that are energetically sensitive, you win. It's Friday, yeah, but it's also an opportunity. And that's what we've always taught, is this moment in time has always been an opportunity. Whenever you put an energetic focus onto a specific date, there's going to be an opportunity there to use that upswelling. It's an upswelling of energetic, and you can use it for things. You do the same thing on December 25th if you're in that faith, and you do the same thing on July 4th. If you are American, you have Independence Day, and each of you in all your countries have dates where everybody goes, yeah, today we do this. And you can use that. Like, Thanksgiving's coming. We really should get the family together because we haven't seen each other in a while. What's that but an opportunity to use a specific date that's set aside because you say so for an opportunity to grow? Okay, so here we are on this date, and there's opportunity in this date, but it's also a Friday. So let's not get too woo-woo here. Let's be in what is true now. And what is true now is you've gathered as a community. Fabulous. You've looked at some stuff that you may not have looked at if you didn't have this date creeping up on you. Fabulous. Humans like deadlines. You don't like them, but they get you to act. So you scoured yourself in ways maybe you wouldn't have. And now you're here going, I know myself more than I used to. I have an opportunity to be in my own energy and what is true now and experience myself in ways that I didn't. And the upswelling, I want to ride that upswelling. And that's why we're here with you. We want to ride that upswelling with you. Because why? Because in a week or so, it turns into 2013. And guess what that's all about? 2013 is all about the opportunity to ride this upswelling, to continue to let go of the things like the Guardian said, and to say, here and now, I take 100% responsibility for my emanation. And the way I get to clarity of emanation is by choosing my reactions to my creations. My world is my creation. It's my experience. I'm experiencing it. And the only way I get to influence how I navigate that world is by choosing how I react to what I encounter. In your world, you have this, a glass half full, glass half empty thing. This is not a new idea. It's just a different way of saying a foundational truth. Choosing your reaction to your creation is how you create your reality. And as you become more and more aware of that, you actually start to realize that it's another layer down. It's your emanation. The energy that comes off of you through the things you think, the things you let yourself think about, create an emanation out of you. And that emanation is magnetic to others. So what do you want in your emanation? Or as Elohim says it, what are you going to broadcast on your radio station? This is what 2013 is going to be about, is refining, clarifying the emanation that you offer the world and ways to do that, ways to clarify. Are you walking down the road talking about your inner childhood dramas or your ex-husband or your job that you hate? Are you giving that to the world, or are you giving I got this job that I'm not real sure about, but instead of emanating out, I hate that job, I hate that job, I hate that job, I'm emanating out, I know it's offering me something, and I'm looking for ways to change my relationship to it, and I'm growing spiritually through the process. And someday I may just say, forget it, I really do just hate this job, and that's the bottom line. But I'm not running around in the world fuming energetically about something rather than working on it consciously. Because the fuming energetically is the hamster wheel mind. It gets you nowhere, and you know this. We don't have to convince you of that. You know it. You just oftentimes lose track of how to do anything other than that. And that's what we want to help you with. You know what's going on. You just are looking for a way out of it. And the first step to getting out of it is realizing where you're lost in it. So the vision we have for you for 2013 is this: that you become so sensitive to your emanation. You're so sensitive to your inner life, your inner conversation with yourself. You're so sensitive to that you play it like Veronica played her cello earlier. It's an instrument for you. And the sound and the vibe that's emanated out into the world is just like that. It's changed as you will it to be. First, you have to know what's going on. Then you have to work with it. And we have all kinds of ways to work with it. So you don't have to worry about that part. You just have to make the commitment to become more sensitive to the fact that the emanation you're offering is your responsibility 100%. And it matters. Many of you wish you could make a difference in this world, wish you could help people, wish you could change the way you see the things going down on the news. And we'll tell you right now, the place where you are most powerful is in your emanation. Not in your acts, not in your words, not even in your deeds. You are most powerful in modulating and correcting and changing your emanational state. And that is the most responsibility you've ever had as well. There's no playing just a little bit on that. You commit to it, and then you find more to commit to. And we will help you with that. Elohim is extraordinarily good at coming up with these exercises and tools to clarify what they see going on energetically, which is what they're going to do next. So we ought to just move out of the way and let it happen. Good night. You're welcome. Whew, okay, wow. Hi, everybody. Having a party. Let's take a look at all y'all. See what you're up to. How in the world did you manage to make a big circle with all you in here? You made one big circle almost. That's great. That's impressive. Was it hard? Yeah? John says, yeah. John's like, I don't know how we did it. It's kind of hard. Huh? It's packed. Packed, but there's lots of room in the middle, which is good because we're going to use it. You knew that, right? Mary George is going to have to make sure the cameras... Mary George, camera operator, and everything else. She's been in charge of so many things over the years. All right. Don't be in what the heck's going to happen next. We're going to have to fix that first because you guys have done this like 3 weeks in a row now. And we know it's really hard because we go, ooh, we're going to do this really fun thing, everybody. We're going to do this really fun thing. And then you all go, whoo. And we're like, damn, this room was full of people 5 minutes ago, and now we're here by ourselves. Come back. Come back. So from now on, when we say, ooh, we're going to do this fun thing, we want you all to look at the center of the circle because that'll help you keep yourselves here. Okay, that's a little tool to help you. So ready? We're going to practice together and see if you go whoosh again because we can't do our thing if you're over there. Ooh, everybody, we have something fun to do. Better. That helped. See how the smallest things can make a difference? Yeah? The smallest things can make a difference. So we need 5 volunteers. 1. We're picking people that don't come all the time. Mindy, Copper Woman. Gwen, of course. She's always a good volunteer. Who else volunteered? We need 1 more. Kim Joy. Okay. So now, how do we want to do it exactly? We need, get your bowl. Richard's like, I'm getting my bowl out of here. Now, because there's only 5 of you and we're not going to be running around in circles, you're going to be careful with the cord, right? So, Mary, where is the best place to put them? We were thinking they could be in a line, but where's the best place to put them so they'll show on the camera? Like right here maybe? Or they don't have to be in a straight line or anything. They just kind of have to be in the middle. Yeah. Okay, so your chairs, if you need help, ask somebody strong. Be on this side, we think. Yeah. Pull closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that should work. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's good. Right like that. Right like that. That's perfect. Can you sort of see them? And still see us? We're still working out the movement meetings. That's what Veronica calls these, is the movement meetings. And so we have to use the space. Everybody needs to go forward.
If you both have 2 words in your names, move forward.
You got them all?
Yeah, Copper Woman needs to go forward.
Okay, Copper Woman forward. There you go. Okay, so now you guys are there. Good thing you guys are all friends because you're getting nice and tucked in. So where are our things? Where's Sue?
Mine are over there.
Okay, well, we need help with that. And Mary George, you have yours too, right? Okay, so today's exercise. Last week we did the illuminating static, right? Or was it last week that we put? Or well, it wasn't a week ago. That's the problem. We had someone say what it was that they wanted in their life that they weren't getting. Just pass them out. And the thing that they weren't getting. And okay, so watch yourselves. Watch yourselves. This is one of those times when it would be really fun to laugh at them, but you don't get to. You get to focus, right? Same thing as before. If you let your curiosity get too involved here, you go some other place. You're not in now if you're thinking about what we're doing, okay? So for the group, the exercise is to help you stay in the moment with what is true now, right? For the people who are sitting there, you get 10 times of that. And for everybody in general, it's if you speculate, it reduces our opportunity to help you, right? So be selfish, don't speculate. And don't be nervous for them because they volunteered. And if they're nervous, it's their business for being nervous, right? Some people get nervous for the people in the middle. Don't be nervous for the people in the middle. They volunteered. When we call on people, okay, maybe you can be nervous for them. But even then, please don't. Okay? So are we back? Let's see. Kinda. Now everybody's wondering, was I speculating? Now you're officially speculating. So, God, this will be great when well, it's like in the beginning when the Guardians used to have to say, focus, focus, focus. You know, they don't do that anymore because you guys got it in the beginning. You'll lose it when we throw stuff at you, which, hint, hint, is why we throw stuff at you. There's so many layers going on right now. All right? You guys, are you... Okay. Better. So last week we talked about the idea that you have something you want And there is what we call static in between what you want and how you are. And what we did is we put people in front of Gwen and John to represent the static that you generate in your life. And things of static were like fear, feeling in limbo, not having answers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we all got a lot out of that exercise, right? Because it was really cool. Of course it was. Tonight we're going to do a similar kind of thing, but it's going to be even more obvious as to what the heck's really going on. So what we need now, hang on just a second. Let's just make sure we've got it all dialed in here. Okay, so we need somebody who wants to be the person that has something they want in their life that they don't have. Who's going to be that person? All right. So that might actually work out swell because she just needs a microphone, but she's in a good spot because Deb, you can just move the microphone over there to her. We'll see. Could happen. Might reach, might not. You might have to roll your chair, move your chair a teeny bit. Well, we'll just see. You're actually in a good spot, so it's okay. Yes, we know. Please, Deb, use your... From your gut. Come on, you can do it. Yeah. Veronica's like, I am not going to spend an hour tomorrow fixing the fact that Deb used her inside voice. You need your outside voice, right, Deb? Yes. Good. We like your using your outside voice. That's definitely not going to help out if her. Okay. So, what is something that you want that you don't have? Some on the circle of possibilities, a thing you wish you had in your life that's not in your life.
A thing, or like money? Because money is on my list.
A thing, or like money. Okay.
Well, a pony, you know.
All right. We're done playing.
Yes.
We asked you a direct question. Answer the question.
Money.
How much money?
$1 million.
You want $1 million.
That would be nice.
Okay. What is a reason that you don't have $1 million in your estimation?
I'm scared to do anything.
Okay. Scared to do anything. Mary, you are scared to do anything. Hit your bowl. Okay. Stop hitting your bowl. Okay. What's another one?
Health for my husband.
Health. You get to be health. Okay. What's another one?
Wow. Freedom to go where I want.
Freedom to go where I want. Copper woman. Oh, that's a good one. That's loud. Good. Okay.
Can it be abstract? Like teletransportation?
It is your moment. If right now, you guys got to pay attention. Right? Okay, we had fun and games. We're paying attention now, right? You just said you want $1 million, and we're sitting right here to help you get it, and you're asking us for permission for the thing to be your thing? Come on.
Teletransportation.
You want teletransportation. That's keeping you from having $1 million. Sorry, put that one back in. Go fish.
Freedom to go where I want.
This is going to illuminate a point. You people better be ready. Hang in there. You don't know.
No, I don't know.
We got to it and we didn't even have to do all 5. Therefore, having $1 million is not your dream.
Instant manifestation was my thought on the way here.
What do you mean?
If I could instantly manifest something, then what do I need money for?
Mindy, you get to be instantaneous manifestation. Good. One more. because Gwen's got hers and we can't leave her out. You want $1 million. So far, you've had to struggle to find 4 reasons why you don't have it. And one of them wasn't even about you. This can't, okay, go ahead. Come up with another one so we can do what we were going to do. But it's good. This is perfect.
Courage.
Okay. Gwen, give it a hit. Yes, courage definitely needs to be louder. The point of the exercise came before we even got to the end. She says she wants $1 million, but she doesn't even know what's in the way. If you don't know what's in the way, you can't get there. There's no step-by-step. There's no step-by-step to $1 million if you don't even know why you don't have it. You hear that? There's no step-by-step to get to your $1 million if you don't know why you don't have it in the first place. She had to struggle to think of 5 reasons why she doesn't have $1 million in her life. There's 2 truths there. One, you don't know your step-by-step. If you don't know what's your barrier, your things that are in your way, your static is what we call it, you can't clear it. So then you're just a victim of this nebulous desire for $1 million. This is what people do with, I want to win the lottery. Why haven't you won the lottery? Well, I don't buy tickets is usually the first reason. Right? It's a good example. It's a funny example, but it's actually true. Mm-hmm. People will think, well, maybe I'll win the lottery. How often are you buying a ticket? Never. Okay. You say, I want $1 million. What we're telling you is that's not really what you want, but we're going to get to that in a minute. So our example, we jumped past our example, but we're going to do it anyway because we planned it, right? What were you? Fear. And what were you, Kim Joy? Health of the husband. And you? I don't remember that. Does anyone remember what Copper Woman was? Freedom.
Oh, freedom
They've
to
decided
travel.
your freedom. Freedom to travel. Mass station. And courage. That's right, you were courage. Okay. So what we hear when we talk to you, and that means y'all, right? What we hear is play your... Keep going. And we're going, so Deb, what is it that you want in your life? And you're going... Okay.
That's kind of what I hear too.
That's what we hear when we talk to you guys, right? And so what we do is, as you're... That sunk in. How exciting was that? Energetically, you all just went, oh, wow, we're just going to sit here for a minute. Woo, that felt really good. You all just went, that's what we were hoping for. So the point of this is like, okay, if you had given us something that was really what you wanted, this exercise would be going more smoothly. But it doesn't matter because it's getting the point across anyway.
I needed that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
You did, because that $1 million isn't actually what you want. Mm-hmm. And some of those things are in the way, but some of them were made up things. What's really going on here is the underlying thing. Like, you know, when we talk to you guys, when we say we're trying to get to the underlying thing, this little lovely band of ladies here represents what we have to dig through and what you have to dig through as well. So we hear the band playing, and the whole time we're looking and looking and looking for the energetic that's authentically going on. And yours is always, you want to know who you are and feel safe to express that in the world. You don't need $1 million frickin' dollars any more than anybody else does. You need to feel comfortable expressing the truth of you in this world. Now, you had fear. So that one's banging. Go ahead, give yourself a bang. And yours was health. That's but the husband. Forget you. Go ahead. Yeah, forget that one.
Well, I got mixed up on what she was saying.
Yeah. What? Who do you have courage? Okay, you get, and you're out too. So the two of you, give it a little. That's your authentic static. Okay, that's enough, girls. That's authentically the static that you're feeling. Right? That's authentically the static that's in the way. And what happens is that static becomes this voices you want to hear, because then you know you're traveling within yourself toward the actual destination you want. When you hear the Mindy, give it a ring of I want instantaneous manifestation, which you all have tried to convince us is what you really want, because you think it'll solve all your problems. Oh my, we'll have to do a week or two on that once that starts kicking in, because it's not going to solve all your problems, although it's going to be fun. And it won't be scary and triggering and frightening, and the survival instinct will freak out, and people will come from miles around to go, I can instantaneously manifest and I'm still not happy. What the hell? All that. Yeah. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. It's okay. We'll be here. Happily receiving the strange things you instantaneously manifest when you can. The donation basket's going to be a very strange moment for Veronica at the end of the night. She's going to be like, what is that? I think it's moving. It's going to be like a biohazard unit. It's going to have to be available for it. It's like, what sort of nightmare did that thing come out of? And why did you give it to me? That's all I can manifest. He's a plastic frog that sweats. That's all I can do. So I gave it to you because I can't go to work, because every time I walk anywhere, plastic frogs come out of the sky. And the whole time I'm going, I thought this was going to solve my problems. And if you think we're kidding, we're not. So Veronica's going to end up with a very interesting plastic frog collection. We can just feel it coming, and she's like, lovely. So anyway, we can help you with that. When we get there, we can help you with that too. Anyway, back to our current story. So you want something, it's on your circle of possibilities, identifying what you feel like's in the way and hearing its sound, smelling its smell, feeling its feeling, whatever your gig is, lets you know where you can do step by step. Because if you have this nebulous, oh, if I had $1 million, if I could instantaneously manifest, if I could teleport, one, it's so disempowering because you can't and you don't know anybody who can. Let's do something you've seen someone do, which is like realize a trigger and transform it, or see that you're being habitual and have a different response. Use a new neural pathway, right? Recognize your core emotion. Let's have things that you actually know how to do. And then you can do step by step on those things. When you don't do that, you're losing before you even open the gates, the horse race. Before the gates even open, you lost. Because you're like, oh, well, I'll never get that. But I want it, but I'll never get it. But I want it. No, listen.
That is my record.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so now that we've gone through all that, Deb, here, this is round 2. You guys are going to get to go again, we think. Deb.
Thank you
for volunteering. Yeah. Let's see. You have a circle of possibilities. What's something on your circle of possibilities that you've yet to experience in your life? Don't give our answer, because that's cheating.
No, I'm not going to give that answer.
No. Use your big voice.
I'm working on self-healing. Not even techniques so much as just the philosophy around it.
Okay. So you're looking to heal something in your body?
No, it's the whole healing. So it has to do with using tools. Consciousness is the primary act in the self-healing process. To make my $1 million.
Deb, we like you, but we're not using you anymore. You're not. Okay. You got your turn. Okay, who else? Did you want to do it? You're scratching your head. Okay. Will you do it? Okay, you do it. We had to.
You want to sit here, Donna?
Well, you did energetically. Mary, would it be easier just to put the microphone over here or put her where Deb is? Deb, you were a good sport, but we need a different energetic now. Is that what was a courage? Freedom. We can't even keep yours straight. And part of the reason we can't keep it straight is because it wasn't energetically clear, right? You understand that?
I didn't understand what you were asking. I just wanted more things I wanted besides $1 million.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I was totally off.
Yeah. So let that, be careful you're not making excuses for her, right? Be careful you're not in outcome. Be careful that you're not solving her problems, right? Yeah, you're off the hook. Yeah. Part of the reason that happened is because you were having a hard time being in the connection. Remember at the beginning we said, okay, we're sick of playing around because it was like, let's discharge any anxiety I have about being the one at the microphone by, and each of you has your own little discharge pattern, which someday maybe we're going to have to get into. You have your secret handshake and you have your discharge pattern. And sometimes when we get forceful like we did with Deb, it's because we don't want to frick around with your discharge patterns today, right? That's all. With all that said, Donna, we don't want to frick around with your discharge patterns today.
I will try.
What's something on your circle of possibilities that you don't currently have?
A peaceful relationship with my husband.
Okay. Very clear. We've been working on this with you for a long time. It's a good thing to leave behind, huh?
Yes.
Okay. What do you think is in the way of you having a peaceful relationship with your husband? Name something.
Anger.
Anger. Who wants to be anger? Yeah, very clear. What else?
Fear.
May as well just keep being fear. Okay.
Courage.
There's courage. Oh, she took your courage spot. Okay.
Belief system. Does that work?
What do you mean by that?
I believe that it may not be possible.
Okay, so like lack of hope.
All right.
Maybe that's not, hang on. There's a sense that it can't change.
Maybe it's habit.
Let's choose habit. Gwen, be habit. Okay, we got one more, right? Copper Woman hasn't had one yet.
Would be such a sense of freedom.
Mm-hmm. And that means responsibility. Oh, woo, woo, woo! We hit it right on the nose. Be responsibility. That's so awesome when it just works like that. We love watching your energies move. Okay. So when you say, get ready, girls. When you say, I want a peaceful relationship with my husband, right?
Right.
Okay, hang on. And when you say, now this is the interesting bit, right? I want a peaceful relationship with my husband. You hear the band play, and then you say, oh, I'm looking for insight, right? Here, we were going to get there, right? Yeah, here we go. So I'm looking for insight about a peaceful relationship with my husband. Where are you, insight? Where are you, insight? Insight! Insight! Okay. They're very good. We get to be the conductor and everything. It's awesome. Right?
Right.
Right? Right? Right. So you guys are like, we say, insight from your soul, and you hear, and you're like, how do I do that? How do I have insight from my soul when I hear fear, right? And anger, and so we divide them up, right? We divide them up, and we try to tackle them one at a time. One at a time, one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. Veronica, hang on, we got to fix this because it's falling off. We're moving around too much, broke our thing. One at a time. Now, which one's the strongest?
Anger.
Good. So now we're going to start with anger. You're on anger. Okay. Yeah. It's all right. For her, it probably sounds something like that, actually. She's like, I'm angry. Although you did say it with some emphasis, but it diggles away pretty fast. Yeah. I'm angry. Okay. We're going to go to another layer. You have to divide it up. So we're going to focus on the anger. Right? So instead of hearing the original band, we're going to start with the band that starts with anger. When you think about just handling the anger you feel, what's the first thing that comes up if you think about healing that anger or changing that anger?
Love.
Love, because you want it to turn into love. Or you love your anger, or what do you mean?
I like the energetic of love, and I think that provides peacefulness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But when you're angry, do you just say, I should be loving instead?
I stop the thought process.
Yeah. Here we go. You all with us? Mm-hmm. Here we go. Just for now, let's not.
Ooh.
Yeah. Our point exactly. You see how this works? Okay. Be brave. You're angry.
I clam up and withdraw.
Who wants to be clam up and withdraw? Sue says, Sue wants to be. Okay, the silence of Sue is clam up and withdraw. Okay, good. All right, good. We fully appreciate you raising your hand. You get points for that, okay?
Okay.
So you're tapping into your anger. So the temptation is to clam up and withdraw. And when you clam up and withdraw, what do you feel?
Little.
Little. Who's going to be little? You be little. Give it a hit. Okay, that's little. Okay. I feel little. I feel little when I'm angry. See, the temptation is to say, I clam up when I'm angry. But if you stop there, it's just an action. But we want to get to what's going on. I feel little when I'm angry. And when you feel little, after you've clammed up, when you're angry, what happens next?
I feel like a loser.
Who wants to be a loser? Somebody with a loud thing. You. I feel like a loser. Mm-hmm. And once you've gotten to I feel like a loser, what comes next?
I just feel like nothingness, unimportant.
Mm-hmm. Kim Joy. Mm-hmm. And once you feel nothingness and unimportant,
I want to go to bed.
Mm-hmm. You want to hide.
Mm-hmm. And
that's you. Yeah, that fits. Yeah. So let's do it again, right? So she starts out with anger, goes to quiet Sue back there, clamming up, then goes to, the word for that was little. And then what did it go to loser next? Yeah. And then it went to unimportant. And then I want to hide. So, of course, when you think about having a more peaceful relationship with your husband that starts off with this cacophony of sounds because you tie in all of those things that we originally had, the truth of the matter is if you think about one, it goes from anger to I have to hide. I'm nothing. I'm a loser. I'm a failure. That's not a very empowering place to make a change from. And even the girls realized, their instruments, they sort of played them. It's like, there's like losing this oomph. Your oomph goes out of you. And of course, at that point, you have no capability of engaging him because you're engaging him from the place of I want to hide in bed. That's the only place you've got because it goes down this track. Now, obviously, we're not going to just leave you there like, isn't that great to know? Next? No. We're not going to do that. Isn't that nice? What we're going to say is, let's back through, right? Back up. Because the first thing you did was clam up. That's the first step. So that's the place to change it. Because if you go clam up, then instead of our girls here being a band, they're a neural pathway. Can you see it? Starts with Mindy, I'm angry, and it goes dong, 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 dong. And it's funny because we have Sue in the back today, so it literally, that's what the neural pathway looks like. So ring your anger, and it goes. Get it? That's the neural pathway you use. Anger trigger, dong, 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 dong. And when you get over there with Mary, you're in bed, and you feel completely disempowered. And from that position, you're not going to be able to correct or deal with the anger you're feeling because you have to get rid of it, discharge it, like we talked about earlier, right? You're discharging that anger rather than dealing with it. So if we bring you back on your circle of possibilities, I wish to have a peaceful relationship with my husband. I feel angry that I don't, or that we've had all this conflict, or whatever the anger's about. And when you go to clam up, that's it. It's over. Because it's going to neural pathway right down the line. Mm-hmm. So that's the point, to catch it. Now, that doesn't mean you have to speak to him, but you can't clam up within yourself. Do you understand?
I do.
Because if you clam up, that neural pathway's strong.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't clam up, what do you imagine happening?
Well, it depends on how I don't clam up.
Okay, so tell us the most powerful way of not clamming up. Which doesn't have to be speaking to him, right? Because that may not be the most powerful, but whatever it is.
I don't know what it would be without speaking to him, but with speaking to him...
No, hang on, because there was a but in there, so that means we definitely have to stop you.
Oh.
And the thing is that the but...
better.
No, it's okay. Don't give up. Don't see how she went to the bed? See, she went to the bed. Did you see it?
Oh.
Did you feel it?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't go to the bed, because you don't have to clam up, because we're not an authority figure. We're just hanging out. Don't be confused about that, right? We're just hanging out, and we're not trying to tell you were wrong. But what we're doing is watching your energetic, because we said to you twice, it might not be speaking to him. And you went, well, if I was speaking to him, but whoosh. So we gave you a hint, and you didn't get it. But that's okay, because we're here to help.
Okay.
Ready? We want to talk about what it looks like to not clam up when you speak to him. No, we said that wrong. When you get the trigger, and you're angry, and you want to go to clam up, what not speaking and not clamming up looks like. Okay, ready? Here it comes. You can listen at this point. She's thinking really hard. This is listening time. Because you don't know what it is.
I don't clam up and I don't speak?
Yeah, I know. Isn't it amazing? Here we go. Ready? We're going to tell you.
I look him in the eye.
Well, you could, but we'd avoid it. We're going to tell you the answer. Are you ready to hear the answer?
Yes.
Okay, good. We're just wondering. Because you're like still thinking. And we're like, it's because it's tweaking your brain out that we had to get your attention, because you want so badly to figure out the answer, but the answer doesn't come from the same place the previous answer came from. Remember that word insight? Yeah, we're going to be the insight in this situation. Because if you go through the same thought process that says, well, when I clam up, I do that. If I don't clam up, it must be the opposite or some other version of it, and you're trying to find it in your mind, you'll never find it there.
Okay.
If it was there, you would have found it by now. We believe in you on that. If the answer was in your mind, boy, you guys would have tracked it down. You're better than bloodhounds about that stuff. It's not in your mind. It's an insight.
I get that.
Yeah.
But I did not get an insight to respond to you.
Yes, that's okay, because we're running the role of insight right now. Ready? Okay.
Ready?
So you have a trigger into fear or into anger. The temptation is to clam up or to think of another solution. And what we say is to go into you. Not into, ding, but into you. Which you may say, I'm going into myself and looking for insight, and I don't find insight, and I can't think of anything, and oh God, they're still talking, and I think I'll just go clam up. Right? You've done that one. But what we're saying is to go into you for the answer. And if the answer is not immediately apparent, you're at least going into you instead of going in to think, to search for an answer.
Okay.
Into you. Now, into you doesn't look him in the eyes, confront him, try to change him, make him do what you want him to do.
No, that doesn't work.
It's never worked. You've been married for how many years?
Almost 50.
Yeah. If that was going to work, it would have worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. You go into you.
Okay.
And the into you gives you answers. I am angry. I'm tempted to clam up. I'm tempted to do that neural pathway thing that Elohim talked about. I'm tempted to go someplace mental right now. What is true now? Go into yourself. What is true now for me? What is authentically true in this moment for me right now? I'm still angry and I'm still tempted, but you're in consciousness about those things. And so you're holding them in the now rather than going down those neural pathways or just spinning in your mind. Because those are the only options you've had. Going down the neural pathway or spinning in your mind. The answer is to turn into you. And we could have done any of the girls on their original, whatever, it was anger and fear and different things. And you get to the same point, which is, I've been trying to solve this problem the same way for 50 years. It's never worked, and yet I don't know how to come up with another solution. And the solution is not to think that there's a solution outside of yourself or that you need him to change to find a solution. You change, and then your changed self, your changed emanation may create change in the relationship, and it may not, but you're at least working within your own internal dynamic rather than looking at him and expecting him to do something different after 50 years of marriage. Ain't gonna happen. But you can change yourself, and then you can evaluate from that changed position how you want to go forward. But each of these steps is that change. Each of these steps is that change. And you have to catch yourself. That's what 2013 is going to be about. The Visionaries said it, that catching your emanation, being aware of it. And the temptation is to think, and answer, and there's no answer in thought. Or if there is an answer in thought, you've already tried it. That's where we really want you guys to let that sink in. If there's an answer in thought, you've already tried it because you're all intelligent people. And you're all old enough to have had a lot of years to try it. So what does insight look like when the band is playing? It's hard to hear insight. And that's why we helped you with a lot of tools to quiet this band. And you can say, okay, fine, I can't deal with the entire band all at once, but I can pull one thing out and I can attend to it. And we'll tell you, if we went through, we don't have time, but if we went through each of the other ones you would come up with, they would have benefited through the process that you went through on the one here. And that's how Circle of Possibilities tool works. Remember, we've said, if you clear out fear between you and a new job, it helps clear your relationship to fear of you and a new partner, or you and a new house, or you and a new $1 million. You see the difference? Mm-hmm. So, and for you, it's really pulling back your power giveaway that you've done with this neural pathway journey, pulling it into, you can always take it in. You can always ask yourself what is true now. No one can take that from you. No one can take from you the ability to ask what is true now. No matter how loud they are, no matter how mean they are, no matter how angry they are, no matter how habitual you've been with them, no one can take away your opportunity to say what is true now within yourself in this moment, and you can answer, I'm wearing red pants. No one can ever take that from you. So you always have that tool, right? You can take it and you can use it anywhere. That's why it's such a core part of what we're teaching you guys right now. You can always go to it. So, here we go. Ready? Let's have the band, not too loud, but play it. What is true now? Keep going.
I'm thankful. Thankful.
Mm-hmm. So you can always ask what is true now, even when triggered, even when the band is playing, even when you're feeling fearful. That's why we want you guys to make it more of a default. You can always go back to it. And, we've had some people say, well, what is true now doesn't work for me. And we'll say, you know what is true now will work for you. It will work for you. But hopefully this example shows that if you say what is true now, the band didn't stop playing when she said, I'm thankful. You can't stop the band from playing necessarily, especially if the band is survival instinct. If the band's survival instinct's never going to go anywhere. A couple weeks ago, we talked about a new relationship to fear. Why? Fear's not going anywhere. You got some aches and pains in your body. Hopefully they'll get healed. But in this moment, they aren't going anywhere. So they're going to be playing their instrument. And if you use the fact that you're afraid, the fact that you don't have enough money, the fact that you've got a pain in your body to keep you from listening for insight or keep you from exploring what is true now, you're never going to get insight or never going to get an answer to what is true now. Because the band isn't going to stop playing until you hush the band through using different neural pathways in your brain and making different choices about your reactions to your creations. The only way the band gets quiet is if you change. The band is there. And when we talk about survivally kind of stuff, then each of you throws in your own instruments, right? Your own nuances. So this is the empowerment we want to leave you with for the movement into 2013, is the saying, what are the instruments in my band? What sounds are they making? What voices are they speaking? Like, they don't have to be bands. We're just illuminating this, right? So, and then saying, how can I break them down and attend to one at a time? And see what I learned from looking at fear, or what anger. We looked at anger. What did you learn from looking at anger? Can you tell us what you feel like you took away?
From looking at anger?
Yeah, from our little exercise we just did.
The thing that has stuck with me the most is the insight.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say?
Going to the insight and letting that stop the chain of events that could follow.
Mm-hmm. And again, not having preconceived notion about what insight is. That's gonna, if she had said, well, you know, when I'm angry, if I go to insight needs to be something that stops him from being angry with me, or makes him want to go to the movie I want to go to, or, you know, that kind of thing. Makes what I want in this moment to be what I get. Insight isn't a magic wand in the sense that it doesn't go, okay, now you get what you want. Insight goes, here's another way to look at what you've got, and it wouldn't be here if it wasn't needed. So what you're experiencing is needed, and insight helps you know more about and work with what you've got going on more. Not dinkle, 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 and change magically into the thing you think you want. Because we'll tell you, the thing you think you want is going to be sweaty plastic frogs. Maybe not for you.
No.
But for a lot of people, it's going to be something really ridiculous. Because until you have more control over your emanations, you can't have instantaneous manifestation, because you will make sweaty plastic frogs, or tsunamis, or breaking your leg, or all the other things you guys worry about. You're not, it's a little bit like, you know, when you have a little kid, and this, Veronica hasn't had a lot of experience around little kids, so when this first started happening, when the first time this happened, she couldn't understand it, and it took a little while for her to figure it out. She was at somebody's house that had some kids that were maybe like 4 or 5, and the mom was pouring juice for everyone, and so she said, Veronica, do you want some juice? Veronica said, sure. She poured her like this much. She was like, are we having a juice shortage? She was very confused by this. And then she realized, oh, because the mom is prepared for them to spill, right? Or to not finish it, or to put sweaty frogs in it. God knows what kids do, right? So it was that kind of a moment where she was like, oh, I see. So on that level, even though you all are grown-ups and we really love you a lot, you're really not trusted with more than just a little bit of juice at this time. Because, you know, however, the amount of juice you're trusted with gets bigger and bigger the more you have a handle on your emanation. And you're more and more empowered as you understand your emanation more. And this is completely yours. Nobody can take it with you, take it from you, right? Nobody can do it for you. Nobody can take it from you. And it's a very personal thing. That's why we have compare you to you, because only you know how you're doing with it. You can talk to it about with friends, but not that many people get it even if you try to explain it. It's a very personal thing, which is great. And although you come here to get help with it, there's no like, you know, you have to come every Wednesday or you can't do it. It's now you know about it, go do it. And if you need more help, we're here. So it's not even something where you have to take continuing education. You can just say, What is true now? My band is playing. I'm confused. I'm stressed. I'm whatever. But what is true now? I want insight. I want to use a different part of me to respond to this situation because I've been using that other part for a long time and it hasn't gotten me to where I want to be in my life. And, you know, it's December 21st, 2012, and we couldn't give you a message that we felt would be more important. It's all about you. It's all about you and your relationship to yourself. And nobody's in between those two things. And the beautiful thing is once you take you and your relationship to yourself to the next level, then you get that access to oneness that you all crave. And the reuniting with the parts of you that you became amnesiac about in order to be human, which we call integrating the soul's perspective. And that journey is your journey. Your journey. The dawning of a new age is that realization in our book, that realization that your journey with you is the journey that you're on. And the gift you give when you have that relationship in a strong place is such a beautiful thing. And you give it simply by breathing. It just comes out of you. It just comes out of you. You don't have to do anything with it, but just breathe. And by breathing, you're gifting the world that clear emanation. And the band, you know, can become a harmony rather than a discordant thing. You know, and you take your place in the symphony. Or you're the flower in the field, whichever, you know, whatever you like. But if you're not growing your flower or you're not practicing your instrument, then, you know, you're not much of a contribution to the symphony. So you can be like, I want to help other people. I'm going to sit down and play my cello. I've never played the cello before, but it's going to make it better because I want it. We haven't seen that work. What works is that attention to your journey. And that attention then feeds the oneness, fuels the oneness, contributes to the oneness. Until you are in that place with yourself, you're not giving what you came here to give. No matter how much you might want to be of service, we found the most powerful service you can be of is to first get into that relationship with yourself where your emanation is very clean. And then the amount of transformational, the transformational force you become is way beyond anything you ever thought you could do. And we see you as those very forceful transformational beings. That's how we experience you, right? We see you there. And to get to that point together is our dream, where we are in a place where we sit down in the meeting and you're all starting from that place. And you stay in that place. And when we say we do an exercise, your attention comes in to the potential of the moment rather than out to, oh, what's it going to be like? Am I going to be triggered? Are they going to call on me? Oh, no. Come in. It's a perfect little microcosm of example because right there, when you're in a right relationship with yourself, your emanation creates a deeper pot for us to pull from. When you're in that I'm not sure place with yourself, it diffuses. So there's a great example that just happened tonight. You know, and the clarity, hopefully now, Deb, that you'll have when you think about what is it that I want and what is in my way of getting it. And you'll be able to think of something that feels attainable in a step-by-step way. And all of you, when you go home, you can do this. What is something I want? And what do I believe is in the way of it? And, you know, for a lot of times, it's both the courage to do it and the belief that you can and the willingness to be that big. Those things mess up light workers more than anything else. And throw into that a little bit of, if I take care of myself, I'm being selfish when I should be of service. That takes care of about 80% of all that you guys show us. So if you just work on those 4, right? Just start with those. If you can't think of any others, start with those 4. Okay? All right. Well, we promised everybody that we'd have the full council, which means we have to go. Thanks, ladies. You were great. You did an excellent job being the static band. You shall forever be known as the static band. Remember when I was part of the static band? Hey, those were the days. wants to be the groupie next time? We didn't have a static band groupie. That was a joke. No one got it. It's not in the picture anymore, though, is it? Perfect. Well, thank you, everybody. That was fun. We hope it showed you. Did it show you? Did it sunk in a little bit? Progress. We're making progress. We're not allowed to say much more. Veronica's like, because we have plenty more we want to say. What we want to leave you with, though, is the idea that 2012 was a year for you to use the upswelling of the energy to bring the spiritual personal growth journey you're on more into focus. And now that you've brought it more into focus, let's kick some ass in 2013. Let's kick some habit ass in 2013, shall we? We'll be here. Remember in the old days, we used to do that? That hasn't happened forever. Remember we used to do that? Why would we do that? We used to do that. Everyone would do like this. That was like our centering thing. Aren't you glad we're grown-ups now? It was fun, though. Well, yeah, we used to do that. Everyone in the group would do it together, right? Wow. It was fun. Okay, for those that are new or those that are online and don't know what the heck's going on, what do you think? Should we get Fred or the girls? He was the loudest. He's creating his reality, and he's creating for the rest of you as well. All right, so we're going to start with Fred, then it'll be the girls, then it'll be the warrior, then it'll be the matriarch, then we'll be done. Fred. Oh, boy. Here we go. Hello. Oh boy, the planets are spinning and all kinds of heavenly bodies are aligning and everyone's going, hallelujah, it's here, huzzah, yippee. And we're like, well, it wasn't good the other way? Like, okay, we get it. It's in a line. It's like special. The sun comes up and it shines through that place and the Stonehenge, you call it, right? And it shines through there and the day and the night and the this and the that. And we're like, yeah, okay. Because like yesterday was really cool and tomorrow's likely to be cool too. And we kind of liked last Thursday as well. And yesterday. So yeah, okay. We know it's fun to like figure out special days and use numbers and planetary bodies and it has an influence. But don't forget that right now is awesome. And now it's awesome again. Guess what? Awesome a third time. We'll stop now, but you get it. It's awesome all the time. And when you start thinking it's only awesome because it's Friday, December 21st, 2012, you lose something. Especially when the awesome day is over there. How about now? All right, Veronica got an email or a Facebook. It said, the next special day. And it's going to be 21/12/2012, just in case you're wondering. That's the next special. That's what it said, the next special day. She said, oh, dear, I thought we were done with this. We are. If you could make every day as special as Christmas, as special as a solstice, as special as your whatever special day is, every day is your birthday because you're reborn every moment. Just see what you can do if you made every day special. Because it is, and not just every day, every moment. Every moment is an opportunity to be fascinated, and we're fascinated all the time. Every moment is a moment to be fascinated. And we would ask you to say to yourself, what can I be fascinated about right now? And answer your own question. What can I be fascinated about right now, even though it's only just a Tuesday? And a regular old, normal old Tuesday. It's not a day off of work, and the banks aren't closed, and nobody's told me it's a full moon, and I haven't noticed anything sort of like happening, like the plants are sprouting up, or the groundhog's running around, or Santa sure hasn't come by lately. So it's just Tuesday, and we're just like, it's not just Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Right? Tuesday. Tuesday's a great day. You're tempted to think Tuesday sucks. You're tempted to think Tuesday's just a plain old day. And how often does a holiday even come on a Tuesday, right? Thanksgiving, all that stuff, that's always at the end of the week, mostly. Tuesday. Tuesday's neglected. You guys neglect Tuesday. We hereby declare Tuesday is a very special day. So is Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday and even Monday. And you know what? 11:11? Wow, that's awesome. 11:11. Look at that. I looked at the clock and it was 11:11. Isn't that cool? I'll put it on Facebook. I saw the clock and it was 11:11. Isn't that great? And we're like, uh-huh. Now what's it say? I guess that sucks. Now, some people think this spoils their fun, and I'm getting insight because I see 11:11s, and that means insight. Okay, yeah, of course, that's true too. We're not talking about you. We're not talking about the people who've managed to make it into something that's real special. We're talking about the people who are like, I don't have to think about anything until someone tells me it's an important day, and then I start thinking about it. I don't have to think about my spiritual growth until they scare the crap out of me telling the world I end on December 21st. Then I better think about some spiritual growth. There's a statistic floating around. We don't know if it's true, but like 25% of the people thought the world was going to end today. Those people weren't doing their Christmas shopping. How's the economy supposed to keep going? We don't know. That's not our department. Our department is to say, really? If you thought the world was going to end today, what did you spend your last few moments doing? And exactly what time was it supposed to end? That's the thing we were confused about. Because, you know, those Australian people, they were writing on Facebook that they were okay. Veronica was like, look at that. And we were like, see, told you. It's Tuesday. Or, what? No, it's Friday now, isn't it? We sort of like Tuesday. Point being, and we're supposed to get to the point. Point being this. Every moment's special. Make your choice. Every moment has fascination in it. We promise you, every moment has fascination in it. Make your choice. Are you going to emanate, this is just Tuesday, or are you going to say, Tuesday? Choice. Choice, 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 choice. And if you find yourself bored, be bored by choice. I'm not going to look for anything fascinating right now. I'm going to explore being bored. Go ahead. Somebody needs to do that job. Not us. Y'all can fight for that job amongst yourselves. We are not signing up for that one. Like you have your potluck and you're like, oh, I'll bring forks. We're not doing it. Because we have no problem finding something fascinating every moment. Now you might say, oh, that's because you're Fred. We're not going to cuss. Trying to have a G-rated meeting. Ugh, it's so much more fun to... We're not supposed to. Fuck that. It's not just because we're Fred. It's because we know the truth. And even if the band's playing, we choose for the truth every time. And the truth is that, yeah, you're triggered. Yeah, you have all kinds of stuff going on, and you can be fascinated. Even if the only thing you can be fascinated about is that you're triggered again about that one more time, go for that. Because that's always going to change the neural pathways you're choosing to use. And that's the gig for 2013. Choosing new neural pathways, monitoring your emanation. Changing your reactions to your creations. That's the whole gig. Now, if we had to cook up a special date in order to get you guys to really focus on that, well, if you insist, we will, but actually we won't. Because you're grown-ups now and you can handle it without. You can pretend. If you need one, make one up. Seriously, if you need a date to help you focus on that, make one up. We'd choose every Wednesday night. Come see us every Wednesday night. We'll hang out with you and help you with that. You understand? All right. So go forth and be 2013ers. Enjoy yourselves. Be fascinated. And when you get triggered, say, okay, here I go. I'm triggered, but I don't have to do it the same way I did before. I really don't. And you may say, but it. And we're like, but it. You can but it until it's over. But the truth is, you have a choice. And each little incremental difference you make when those opportunities come up is your empowerment toward getting that muscle stronger so that it becomes easier and easier. So even if you make a small choice and then you get triggered and you go in an old neural pathway, that small choice makes a difference. They add up. So go forth and add up in your 2013. Ciao. Oh, girls. We're supposed to introduce the next one. And we remembered. Good. So we're feeling very proud of ourselves. Off we go. Oh boy. Fred. Fred. He's a lot of fun. Sometimes when you think about the things that are on the circle of possibilities that you don't have, you want to be really mean to yourself in that process. There's always the option to be mean to yourself. There's always the option to be mean to yourself. And the more frequently you get off that option, the better you'll be. That you just, the being mean to yourself, you don't actually have to love yourself. We'd love if you did, but you don't actually have to love yourself. What you got to do is stop being mean to yourself. At least have a neutral relationship. The more you think you suck, the more you hate yourself, the more you talk mean to yourself, the more you do that, your emanation just disintegrates. It just disintegrates. So allowing yourself to say, look, I'm upset about something, and instead of being mean to myself, I'm going to be neutral about myself, or I'm going to stop the temptation to say something mean and just say nothing at all, or I'm going to stop the temptation to say something mean and look at the cat, or out the window, or at my shoes, or anything. Choose nearly anything over being mean to yourself. You want to help others? That's the place to start. That takes a huge chunk of the troubled energetic out of this world, is if you stop being mean to yourself. And don't think you don't make a difference on that, because you sure as hell do. There's nothing to be gained from continuing to be mean to yourself. Nothing. Nothing. It does not further you. It does not teach you. It does not help you grow. Being mean to yourself isn't going to be the answer. It's not going to be the solution. It's not going to be the way you learn what you want to learn or get what you want to get. It's not going to do it. It's never the answer. So every time you're being mean to yourself, you're choosing a habitual pattern that has not solved the problem in the past. Why? Because it's habitual. And because you didn't know anything else. So at least go into neutrality. Oh, I'm really mad at myself because Okay, woo. Next time I won't do that. And right now, instead of thinking that, I'm going to think about anything else, really. Give yourself the gift of stopping being mean to yourself. That's your Christmas present, your New Year's present, your Hanukkah present, and every other holiday you can dream up. Hell, make it your 4th of July present, too, while you're at it. Y'all in other countries have all kinds of other holidays. Add them all in, right? Everybody's holidays all stacked together. That's your present for yourself for the rest of your life. I'm never going to be mean to myself again. And that's a fine commitment to make on a day like today. I'm never going to be mean to myself again. It is no longer an option. It is no longer on the table. It is not an option. Wow. Imagine making that commitment to yourself. Imagine. You know, some of you have talked to us in the past about relationships with men, primarily, but with women too, but not really. Actually, it's only been about men that we can recall at this time. And one of the things that you love to say about men is that they don't know how to commit, right? And we would say, neither do you, because none of you have committed to never being mean to yourself again, and that's the finest commitment you can ever make. So every time you look at someone and think they're irresponsible, they don't know how to commit, they don't keep their word, those sorts of things, ask yourself, have I been mean to myself lately? Because if I have, I'm violating something that's a sacred trust. You have a sacred trust between you and your body. And Elohim has only one rule. After all these years, there's been only one rule ever offered. There's been lots of tools suggested, but one rule, and that you can't be mean to yourself. Where we want to go in 2013, you can't get there if you're being mean to yourself. And that's a drastic statement, but it's true. Your emanation will be too tainted. So don't do it. Don't do that. And we would ask you to consider strongly making that pledge, that that's one of the things you leave behind in 2012, is the idea that you're ever mean to yourself. Warrior's turn. We love you. Good night.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good advice all around. We agree with it. It's nice that you have the opportunity to explore the idea of whether or not you're mean to yourself. You don't have someone being mean to you all the time with a knife or a sword or a gun. You get to actually decide whether or not someone's mean to you. Huh? Imagine that. The freedom of getting to decide whether or not someone's mean to you, namely yourself. Instead of being on the battlefield where there's someone being mean to you all the time. You get to choose. You get to choose whether or not to be in an engagement where someone's being mean to you. In a relationship, someone's being disrespectful, you have a choice. In your own internal dialogue, you have a choice. At work, you have a choice. With your kids, you have choices. Compare it to a soldier. You're on the battlefield. Our types of battlefields where mostly we have horses and swords and some spears and stuff. People are being mean to you all around you. They wish you ill. They want to kill you, hurt you, maim you. And you avoid them. You try to get out of their way. You try to do them in before they do you in. Sometimes you run away when it's appropriate. You're strategizing. You're looking at maps. You're hiding behind hills and climbing up trees and getting behind boulders. You're doing everything you can think of to keep from having someone be mean to you. Your entire life is focused on being able to keep people from being mean to you. Yet you guys will do it to yourselves. Imagine, if you would, how annoyed this makes us, but imagine, if you would, standing on the battlefield, being your own enemy. Let's just together have a little pretend. Ready? Just let's take a breath first. I suck. Ugh. One of our favorites. Oh, nobody likes me because I'm bad. Goosh. Another nice one. No one's ever going to hire me because I'm lame. Horse runs over you. Twice. Let's think of a really good one. No one will ever love me. Trebuchet. Here it comes, the big stone. I'll just stand here and let it fall on me, for I am unlovable. Koosh. Yeah, it's pretty funny when you look at it from that perspective, isn't it? Your internal life is our battlefield. That's how we've always taught you, right? We've always taught you from that comparison. Our battlefield, which looks a lot like what you guys see when you go see like the Lord of the Rings kind of movies, you know, where like everyone's out there kicking the shit out of each other with knives and everyone's bleeding and sweaty and stinky and shit's running down their legs and animals are screaming and things are on fire and big rocks are flying through the air and you just don't know who's your friend and who's your foe and you're as confused as you've ever been and you've never felt more alive. That's you. But instead of big rocks and horses and animals and, you know, all that stuff, it's, I suck. I don't have enough money. Nobody loves me. I lost my job. I can't find someone to rent my house. I lost my wallet. And you don't let, when you're on the battlefield, you don't let them hurt you if you can avoid it. And you know what you also do? Let's say you're badass, because you are, all right? So imagine yourself, like it's an Avatar, like in those, not the blue movie, but Avatar like is in a video game kind of thing where you get to create your character. That's the right word, right? Avatar. Anyway, you're like this guy or girl and you're badass. So like you've got muscles and you've got cool swords and maybe you got a hairdo that you've never had before and you got like these cool outfits and whatever kind of shoes that you like and all that kind of stuff. So there you are, right? You can imagine yourself. Give yourself a shield because we want you to have a fighting chance. It's okay. There you are. So you fight and you fight and you fight and you fight and you get a big cut on your arm. Nothing that's going to kill you, but you get a big cut on your arm. And then the fight's over and what do? Immediately, you bandage it up so you don't bleed to death. But you guys be mean to yourselves and you never bandage it up. So energetically, you're just bleeding all the time. You don't even bandage it up. I suck. I'm totally unlovable. I'm never going to get a job. I'm never going to have sex again in my life. No one will even like me because I have an extra pound here or my hair is too short or that one time I had bad breath. Oh, God, I'm just this horrible person. No one's ever going to love me. And you just leave it like that. Maybe you run out of energy on it, but you don't bandage it up. So no matter how cool your outfit is, you're bleeding and bleeding and bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. You have some sort of coagulation disorder, so it never stops. That shit needs to be tied up, cleaned up, and stitched up. Which does hurt, by the way, just in case you're wondering. But you grit through it. And for you guys, what that looks like is saying, wait, God, wait. Wait a minute. I can't tell myself these things because then I'm energetically bleeding. And how do I patch it up? At a minimum, stop, but more accurately, you just say, okay, those things happened. That happened. That happened. And every time I keep thinking about it, I'm the one cutting my arm. Not patching it up, but continuing to cut and cut and cut and cut and cut and cut some more. And that's what you guys look like. That's why during the last question and answer thing that Eloheim did, they said, we see energetic violence in the circle all the time. The energetic violence that occurs in the circle, well, that's what they meant. As every time you're mean to yourself, you're just chopping things off and cutting things up and you don't patch it up and you don't stop. And so how do you stop it? You just at least don't think it. And when you do, you say, that happened, but now's a new moment. And I'm not going to say those things to myself. You can say, I want to do it differently in the future. Or if I had it to do over again, this is how I'm going to do it. But you can't do, I suck because I did it. And so that means I suck forever. The I suck forever thing. It's really hard to ascend a form that thinks it sucks forever. That's pretty straightforward, right? Mm-hmm. So just keep it together. Imagine yourself on the battlefield if it helps. You know, Elohim did that good thing with the sounds, but if that didn't get it for you, imagine yourself on the battlefield, and each of those sounds is someone coming at you with a spear. You don't want to keep, letting them come at you. You got to stop them. And every time you say, but I don't know how, well, you do one-on-one. That's where the battlefield metaphor kind of breaks down a little bit. Imagine 3 of them got distracted, and you just have to fight one of them. And it's a fight. We are on the council because the truth of it is it's a fight. You fight your habits in the sense that you do battle with them, meaning that they come up and they come up and they come up. And each time you have the opportunity to have a different relationship to them. And you need to keep having an interaction with them until they're vanquished or they give up or they ride away into the sunset with shit running down their leg for a change, which is kind of a nice thing. We'll admit it. When your enemy runs away from you with shit running down his leg and blood coming off his arm, you're like, mm-hmm. You know why? Because he won't come back. And that's the point of it. Get the habits to go away and make them not come back. An enemy that we vanquish in such an embarrassing way is unlikely to come back, which means our kids don't have to fight him. We have a real practical kind of life about that stuff. We don't want Cedric and the rest of the kids to have to fight that asshole. We're going to kick his ass right now so he never comes back. And the only thing we have a memory of him is his trail of shit. That's a perfect memory. The trail of shit is he goes off into the sunset. Yeah, you and your descendants. Guess what? Go over there and stay over there. Leave us alone. You want to be in the place where your habits have fled from you because you no longer feed them. You no longer give them power, and you no longer tell them they're more powerful than you. And those of you that are parents, then your kids don't have to fight those habits too. And if you're not parents, it's your friends, your lovers, your community. And in essence, your emanation, the oneness. Oh, we're supposed to go now. We could talk for another hour. We love comparing your battle to our battle because it's juicy for us. It's juicy for us to see how what we have gone through translates to what you face now. Now, we said to you, before we go, have a shield at least. What's your shield? What is true now, right? It gets you in the moment. It gets you centered. It gets you grounded. Puts your feet under your shoulders and gives you something to say, no, you can't have me. Here comes habit. No, you can't have me. I have what is true now in the way. What is true now? What is true now? What is true now? And I vanquish you. I vanquish you because you have no power in front of me. You have no power in front of me centered with what is true now on my arm. That's the name of your shield. What is true now? Good night. Yes. Many months ago, maybe years ago even, we said to you, we see you as your ascended selves. Don't go looking. Please don't go looking. In this moment, use that tool Elohim gave you and look to the center of the circle when we say that. We see you as your ascended self. That's better. Your ascended self isn't some other place. It's here with you. It's within you. It's covered up by your noisy band. But it is here. It's not something you have to find. It's not the little lost lamb. It's you here, experiencing now, purely. And you'll glimpse it, and that glimpse will expand. And the council has given you a great introduction into the path that we intend to walk with you to help expand those moments into minutes, hours, days, weeks, and years. You're expanding on something that's already within you. It is there. We see it. We know it's there. We witness it to you. Let's expand on it as we move forward together. For the entire council, we say, thank you, we love you, and good night.